Alright, stream seems to be working. Welcome back. Let's do some Tombs of Amascut. I think I've got most of my inventory sorted out. I just want to make sure I'm on the right spellbook here. Yep. I was noticing the price of restores has absolutely blown up. It's now about 1.5 times the price of a prey pot, so I might switch to prayer pots. I don't realistically see any reason that I have to use restores for this. It's a little bit more prayer per potion, sure, but does it really matter? Anyway, we're going to be starting with softcore on Walk for It. Need some help, walk the path, deadly prayers on a diet, living larva, blowing mud, aerial assault, everything for the crocodile, everything but double trouble and keep back per akka, everything but boulder dash, and everything but insanity. Sort of looking through my inventory here, making sure everything's right. I want to make sure my weapons are on the left side here so I can just sort of swap through for the monkey room. But yeah, no, I think we're good. I don't see anything that I'm really messing up here. It looks obvious. And I'm going to try this with prey pots. If something goes horribly... I'm going to try this with 5 prey pots and 1 restore. And that way, if something goes horribly, horribly wrong, and it turns out that I was wrong and I need a restore, then we have an option. But if I don't need restores, these are 15k, these are 10k. I mean... it's not a huge difference, but over like 100 toas, it becomes one. Alright, so we're going to start out praying melee with the summoners far enough away from me that I can probably manage to hit it without causing it to summon. Nice. Does this hit a 30? Yeah, it hit a 25, because I forgot that that was not going to be a problem yet. There we go, that'll blow up. I should get both of them, and nice. Should have used offensive prayers there, but I didn't. Try and get some of these ones. Nice. Get rid of both the melees on that one. Uh-oh. Awkward. Okay. Sweet. I'm getting a little bit better at not panicking when it comes to those ones. I don't think anything else is spawning, so I should be able to just blowpipe these. All things considered, that was a pretty stress-free monkey room. Compared to how it's gone in the past. Oh, never mind. Didn't see that guy. Two doses of prey pot to get through that's about my average. 95 HP, even though we came in at 120-ish. But that does mean that I get a full chance to double BGS Baba if I want it. I think you know that I want it. Okay, so if I switch to the BGS and then move this to here, that should be fine for inventory stuff. So we're going to summon a Thrall, realize that our prayers are going to be screwed up, and whack with the BGS by accident. Oh god, my battery on my mouse is low. That's a really bad thing to see. Nope, move, move, move. There we go. Little disappointed that both BGS hits completely failed me there, but that's fine. We're almost to the first boulder phase. As long as it doesn't use the black attack underneath of me right now, okay, we're good. That should phase him. Nice. Alright, so that's pretty much a free Baba, for this part at least. Drink one Prey Pot just so I don't have to worry about it. Probably didn't even need to realistically at 60 prayer, but then again we just missed 4 attacks in a row, never mind. Okay. Well, never mind that. That could have gone a little better. Oh, please. Okay. Going for a little walk. Yeah, we're going over here. I'm not taking my chances with that middle one. Damn it. Okay. I should have just attacked him, really. Would have saved me 24 health, but who would have known? Can I run through that? I might be able to make this. Yeah, we're okay. Then whatever damage I can do here is just convenient, basically. Ah. Tried for one last hit there and couldn't quite get it, but that's fine, we got full spec. Can speed this phase up a little bit. Oh, I don't need to be on defensive anymore either, do I? Yeah, we'll fix that in a minute. I've been on defensive for all of my weapons, basically, while I've been trying to get my last defense leveled, but off stream the other day, I actually got to 99 defense, so hooray. Also, crap, if that doesn't hit, I'm gonna have to use a Prey Pot. Anyway, what do we got? Stab, 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 slash, so it looks like stab aggressive. That might actually even be enough to give me a max hit, I'm genuinely not sure. Place your bets now. Is the BGS gonna land on Kephri? I'm thinking the first one misses completely, the second one hits high double digits, like at least a 3 is the first number. But that's just me being hopeful. Okay, finishing on star, so star, diamond, W. I guess if we're being efficient, I probably should be finishing on boot because it puts me as close to the door as possible. Although I guess diamond would have given it a run for its money. Anyway, BGS time. Make sure I'm not missing anything obvious here. No, I think we're good. So I can just go in. Didn't... Oh god, I just summoned that in the completely wrong place. Yeah, so that was a complete waste of a throw. But we did land both BGS, so We're just going to pretend I didn't do that and summon this here. Either way, we're at 65% on Kephri that fast. It's going to be a good Kephri. Even if I've screwed that up completely. Interestingly, although I did miss an attack already, it'd be cool to see if I can maybe finally get a 315 where Kephri doesn't summon the ranged attack eggs on the first phase. No, here they come. So it was 20%, maybe 13.6% off, considering one of the attacks missed. Let's put that on now. And that'll do it. It's actually good timing that that explosion misses me, and then I need to step now. And looking at this, that's on the bottom row, that's on the right. Okay. Do what I can for shooting these, but I'm not the best at it. Actually, that's some of the best I've done yet. Usually don't end up having it under 100% when it comes back. As long as we do okay with the melee and the mage, this should be a really solid, quick Kephri. Okay, kind of low hits here. Feeling like I'm missing a lot of my attacks. And I'm wondering if they've somehow made it so Kephri resets its defense as soon as you get through the first blue bar now instead of all the blue bars. Because it used to be if you hit a BGS on Kephri, its defense stayed lowered until you got to the final phase. Maybe I'm just unlucky. Resummon this guy. Hopefully that hits. Nice. I guess I could have made my way around here already, but I didn't. Not my best movement, but that's fine. Got the melee to about half while running around like an imbecile. Baited the exploding scarab way back there, so we don't have to worry about it until now. There we go. Beauty. So it should be standing up any second. There it is. Oh crap. Okay, I've got 17 seconds on the thrall, and in my experience it's probably a bad idea to resummon it right now, even though it would be a little extra DPS. In recent memory at least, I've gotten killed twice by the thrall, accidentally causing me to get double crapped when I stopped dealing damage, and yeah, it's not great. There we go, we managed to put that just in the reasonably perfect place. Might not be everyone's strategy, but I just kind of like to keep the poop confined into one poop corner. If I'm gonna fight a dung beetle, I might as well act like a... oh, Jesus. Thought that was gonna hit me. Act like a caged animal and just crap in the corner. Might as well use some potions. So I might go back to using restores, honestly. I'm undecided on that. I do feel like I've kind of wasted some prayer, but at the same time, maybe I'll just reserve judgment until we see how much I end up with. Okay, grab one of these because we're pretty much done this fight now. I'm gonna grab 4 of these in a row. I really didn't need to use that prey pot. I wasn't really paying attention to how far down Kephri already was. But we actually just managed to miss a bunch of those specs, so that was great. Genuinely don't care if my prayer drops here. We're at 80 HP and these things hit a maximum of maybe 4 or 5 or something like that and almost never actually hit me. There we go. Turn my prayer off for me. We'll just call that intentional. Alright, that's the whole right side done. Let's see what's gonna happen with the helpful spirit. Alright, we got a double salt raid, so that's nice and easy. We have a level 2 and a level 0, so we're obviously not going to try and fight a level 3 Krondus. We don't have to, and we don't have to, so into Krondus. And as always, we're going to grab this. I just prefer this one as a starting point. I know this is going to hit me, but I mean, anytime that I try to avoid damage, I end up getting hit twice, so I'm just going for it. As long as you don't get hit on the way back, it really doesn't matter. And with the Sang Staff, if I get lucky, this might just heal me back up anyway. Well, one-shot him anyway. That misclick probably cost me 11 HP, but that's okay, because there was a second one after it anyway. And we're done with this bull crap. Time to go BGS at Gigantic Crocodile. Excuse me. Ooh, 37. Solid. And 1. Probably shouldn't have gone for the second BGS. Couldn't possibly have known until it happened, though. So we're just going to watch the crocodile itself for its magic attack. That was it right there, so if I wasn't already praying mage... Oh, no, it's going to summon these things right before it does the first spec, so I'm hopefully not going to have to deal with a solve while I'm running away from these. Nah, we just do this. It's easy. Okay, waves number 1. Got a nice area to start with. That's a little less nice, but that's fine. And of course it's going to make me run all the way over to here. I'm just going to run up here to be sure, because I don't want to have an incident. Grab another one of these guys. Probably start flicking my prayers off, though. Okay, yeah, that's the easiest solve I think I've ever seen. Guess I don't need range spray on right now, but that's fine. We're gonna get waves soon, so I'm gonna just hop over to my little square. That was quick. We're already at waves. And that's not the worst area to be in, to be honest. We've got a decent... Oh, okay, it's way the shit over there. I can't actually shoot while I go through here, so I'm gonna have to wait here for a second, because this would pull me back. Alright, turbo mode activated. Nice timing on its mage attack. Oh, it didn't even use the absorb attack, it just used that. That's unfortunate. Three out of 4 bosses done. Lots of supplies left so far. We've used up 1 3/4 of a prey pot going into het. Perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better solve than that. Except for the fact that this goddamn thing is going to try and hit me. I'm going to step off and back, and that still might be enough time. I'm actually not certain. No, it isn't. Okay. I've wanted to try that for a little while, actually, believe it or not. To see if I got a perfect start on it like that, if it was enough time where I could step out of the way of one of those orbs. There probably was, and I maybe could have done it if I was one tick faster, but I wasn't. Not a huge deal. Is that... No, that's backwards. Well, now we know. Don't screw around in that room, and probably just accept a little bit of damage if you have to. I'm at 135 on the salt. It is a double salt raid. I could just salt right now going into Akka, honestly. And I think I'm probably just going to. There's not really any reason not to. Nice. Alright, so what does that leave us? Oh Jesus, I've got 3 1/4 prey pots and 1 full restore left. So yeah, I can totally do this with prey pots and just be cheap about it. There's not really any reason not to by the looks of it. So it's gonna switch to that. Didn't go for the middle though. This is a level 1, I gotta remember that it's only gonna do 4 in the center. Man, we are just destroying this. Is this a 315 or a 115? Okay. So we got white, red, white, red. Come on. A little bit slow on that swap, that's fine. I'm gonna try and keep my prayer really high on this fight. Mostly because I've got no reason to keep these supplies, but also because I'm gonna Kara spec as close to final phase as possible. So that way I can go into it with as much HP as I possibly can. That was yellow, black, whoops, red, black. Almost missed a couple of those. This is like 1 attack away, come on, there we go. It's gonna switch to Prey Mage next anyway, so I may as well just stay melee. Hitting kinda low though. We got a lot of time left, but it does worry me when I get a little bit low on the DPS race hits there. So when it goes melee, I go to the center, and red, black, red, black. So Akka's at 30%. When it gets to 20%, we gotta switch over here. But I'm gonna need to switch to melee gear at some point, probably. I'm just sort of thinking this through, so... If I stay range, actually... Okay, that just went literally tick perfect as well as that could have gone. Never mind. Everything's fine. We're just going to stay range right now. So I can actually swap to melee pretty quick. Get a couple of hits in. And now if I can, it's going to go mage, but it's going to go to the center. There's a free hit, so I think that was yellow, white, red, black. Nice. So now as long as I can take this down before I absolutely have to Karis, then we're going to be in good shape. So next time I can use a Prey Pot, we'll Karis spec. Go ahead and do that. And hopefully we get him down before he switches melee. Nice. Summon a melee thrall, right click, and away we go. Might as well start with a spec. 56 to start off with, 116 HP to go. Practically infinite prayer if I need it, so if I really had to I could drag this out and make the melee thrall do the entire fight for me while I just stand around dodging things, or running into them, whatever works. And that's Akka. Let's go fight the Wardens. Now the only other variable here is this going to be a resource-intensive raid, or is this going to give me 2 white pots? Oh, it's just starting me off with just a juicy, beautiful cakewalk of a raid. All we've used so far is 3 Prey Pots. So our cost for this raid was 30k. Actually, I'll do that while I'm moving. Oh, before I do anything else, my mouse just told me that it's dying again, and I have a cable here I can plug in, so I'm going to go ahead and plug that in, and if I die on the last section, we can just pretend that it's because there's a cable attached to my mouse. That's probably what I'm going to say that it was anyways. Anyway, we're in full melee attire. We need this to be over here, and I need the pink, yellow, paper, blue, and white potions. And I need to be wearing this. I'm not going to use this anymore for the whole raid, and this can go somewhere over here. So that looks right. We are salted for about 2 minutes, so we'll get that going. We'll blue pot, talk to him, summon a thrall, run over here, piety, and start specking away. We got a 15. A nothing. And whatever this hits, it hits. 314 XP drop, I'll take it. We gotta move right now. And I realize I'm on the wrong prayer, but that's fine. Because we got so many white pots, it makes sense to just not even worry about it. We're gonna Ambrosia as soon as the time calls for it, but there's no way that this should kill me as long as nothing has changed in the way that they've coded raids in the last day. While I'm thinking about this, this should be up here. We got the BGS all ready to go. Yeah, no, this is looking pretty good. So now from any time onwards I could Ambrosia. But the later that I do it, the better because, you know, rare. A little unfortunate, but I might end up having to take some unnecessary damage from these attacks here. So I need to Ambrosia before this hits me. If this hits me. And unfortunately we low-rolled a bunch of those hits, so we'll do that now. And is the second one going to hit me too? God damn it. That's unfortunate. That's fine though. This leads me to my next question. Does the Sanguine SD staff have the ability to heal off of this thing? I can't imagine that it does. I'm going to resalt right now because I have 2 more of them anyway, or 1 more dose of them rather. I'll heal up a little bit. We're at 75, 67. You know what? It probably doesn't. I'm just gonna assume that it doesn't and watch out for these Thunder Skulls. And it looks like we don't actually have to move for this ult. Maybe. No, we wouldn't have had to. I realize brewing myself down there is probably slowing this part down a little bit anyway, but I'm not too worried about it. My mage gear kind of sucks compared to my range gear, so the range one's going to be a lot faster. Was that enough? Oh, it was. Okay. It looked like it wasn't going down for a second there. Okay, nice. So we could do a 2 down if we want to. It's more XP to do a 3 or more purple chance to do a 3 down though, so I'm gonna do that just for practice basically. Switch to range. Move. And we're good. Probably heal up a little bit here. Alright, total cakewalk. As long as that doesn't hit me. And I should put this up here before I end up panicked about it. Okay, switch. Missed the gloves on the first try, but that's fine. Actually don't need to worry too much about speccing here. I am going to drink that blue pot though. So I do want a 3 down, but I want to keep as much of my spec energy as I reasonably can for the final fight, because I want to get 2 BGS in there. So I should be in a good enough position to just accept that and regen from here. Nice. Unless I mess something up after this phase, I pretty much won't be using the yellow pots. Shit. Just one tick early on that. Another good reason to keep my health good and high. Guess I could have summoned a mage thrall here as well if I really wanted this to be over a little quicker, but that's fine. Just more time to generate spec. I've got 1:21 on the blue pot, so we're more than fine there. Take off all the prayers, throw on the melee gear. I'm gonna heal right up here. Try and grab Scarab, nice. And we'll go for 3 specs. $63, nice. We got a max reduction on that one. I'm gonna move. I was a little late on that. Okay, so now that we're in this situation, I'm going to use one last nectar, which I'm now pretty much out of anyway. As long as I don't screw anything up, I shouldn't lose any HP from this point. Coming up on the first skulls, and as always I'm going to skull skip every single one of them just because it's way more convenient for me. Just feels like there's not really a whole lot of reason to do them any other way. I'm sure I'd get a whole bunch of people killed if I tried to do that in a group, but that's fine. That's why I don't do this in a group. Plus, it's kind of hard to split a shadow 8 ways when you want 100% of it. Okay, did a little inventory management. We got 1 salt left that I can use, and 2.5 minutes on that anyway. Gonna have to start worrying about offensive prayers now. So we pray against the first one, and start clicking. I'm a little bit ahead there, so I'm gonna just waste a tick. We're already down to 47, we're almost at 40. Got a couple of really good hits, I guess. Thrall's gonna disappear right as we go into the next phase. Okay, we needed one more hit. There we go. Tons of prayer left. So let's dodge one rock. Second prayer. Okay. Still at 113 HP, so I haven't actually taken any damage during this. That's not going to be the case at the end, don't get me wrong. I'm really messed up there, but it is what it is. I usually take a fair bit of damage from lightning. Usually don't take too much from the overhead rocks, and occasionally off prayer. If I'm panicked trying to do too much at once. We're going to resalt now because it seems like that's just about to end. I'm going to switch prayers, not run the 2 tiles. Whoops, that was almost bad. Grab a little more prayer from the potion. Kind of surprised we're not down below 20%. There we go. Alright, last red skulls. Which means we dodge 2 rocks, so that's the first one. That's the second one, switch prayer. Start clicking and hope we don't have to switch prayer a 3rd time, but no we don't. Good. And now it's the last phase until... like there's no more red skulls. It's the last phase until the end. Okay. Didn't mean to do that, but that's still fine. 10%. Almost got me with that one. Mage Pray almost didn't end up on in time. So we're going to switch the offensive prayers, the weapon, and go for a spec. I think I hit a 42. Move, damn it, there we go. And a 60. Solid. I'm going to use a Scarab so I don't have to worry about prayer for pretty much the entire part here. Sometimes it gives you 2 of those, this time it gave me 1, so I've got enough to use that one more time if I need to, plus another 3 doses of the white potion should I happen to need that. But it looks like we're pretty much done. Ooh, missed the Mage Pray. That's fine. Do you imagine I just get like a 1-tap shadow? First kill of the stream. Actually, everything went pretty well. The 4 is there, just me muting and unmuting my mic. $4.92 does not give us a purple, unfortunately, this time. But that's actually a pretty solid drop, all things considered. 500k plus a rune cache. Let's see how we did on the runes. Ooh, soul runes, 390. I think blood's probably the best. But that's not terrible. So that's what, 890, about 900k minus the 30k cost of supplies. So 870k. So if that was my average drop, which it isn't, but if it was, then this would be somewhere in the ballpark of 1.4, 1.5 million an hour without purples. Which is kind of low, I'm going to be honest with you, but that could be a lot worse. Anyway, after trying that out, we're 100% just bringing prey pots in. The last time that I restocked, prey pots and super restores were almost the exact same price. They're now 10,700 for a prey pot and 14,500 for a super restore. Don't quite know how that happened. But here we are. Anyway, I'll leave my C-log up, rearrange my inventory real quick, and let's see, that goes there. I will be back in a second with a cup of coffee on another raid. Plus, to be perfectly honest, if I can waste another 5 minutes and then unplug my mouse, it would be a lot more comfortable. I've got a fresh cup of coffee, and a potential willingness to actually run some more of this content. So let's get back to it. I'm really liking the Sanguinesti staff, even if I'm basically paying 700 coins for an extra 1 max hit. 700 coins per cast for an extra 1 max hit. That's fine with me. I'm actually a little curious about something. Is this using... So we're at 8290. Is this using a lot of charges in this raid or not? So I'm barely using it. It might be like 10 shots in the monkey room. Mind you, I don't even know... I didn't even use it the last monkey room. I actually managed to get every single melee killed with explosives after the first couple. Like after the first round. I don't think I even checked to see if it does max at a 30. Huh. Well, something to keep track of this time, I suppose. Now that I've had a practice run, this hopefully will go really well. But if you've watched me play this game before, you know that's 50-50. Does this work? Not a good idea. I was gonna try and melee the poison. Oh god. Red click, goddamn you, red click! Okay, that was what I was talking about. Something's gonna go wrong, I just didn't expect it to be that. Ow. It's gonna make me go all the way over to here then. That's fine. Oh god. There's 2 summoners, 2 mages, and 2 ranged... Oh god. This is not going my way. Get rid of the summoners first, I guess. And just keep running while I get rid of the mages, and then once one of them's down, I'll switch to melee. Hopefully that worked well enough. Would not want to imagine this room without tagging things. With colors and indicators and whatnot. So yeah, that definitely just worked. I think it even leached HP off of them. Nice. Crap. Oh god. This is going to hell in a handbasket here. Okay, I got some of them. Yeah, this has not been a very good version of this, this room for me. So we're gonna have to, spend a little bit of time getting rid of these guys. We're probably gonna have to Kara spec as well. Before Baba. Yeah, this did not go well. I'm not quite sure what happened. I don't think I screwed up any of the puzzles. Maybe I just, I don't know. I got overwhelmed at some parts. But that's why we have this. Now I get to go in there with 118 HP. I just probably won't be able to BGS spec until partway through the first round. Which is a little awkward, but it's not that bad. So if I switch these on, move this up to here. Yeah, that should work. So we're at 35%. The question is, do I just wait for 45% to get around one more turn of this circle, or most of the way around? I might as well, right? Wasn't that much longer to be able to do this. And then realized that I never equipped my BGS. Son of a bitch. I just... Okay. At least that spec is only 25%. And because of the Keras, we actually were at a weird breakpoint where the last digit was a 5, so... I can still probably BGS it during this first phase. Uh-oh. Yeah, given that we're hitting nothing, that seems like that's the way to go here. See if this hits. Please? Okay, 20. That's exactly what the maximum reduction is, I think. $65, nice. Uh-oh. Can you stop with this bullshit? Put one right down the middle. Close enough. Okay, we got the BGS, so this should hit. Alright, some of them have. Most of them have now. I'll take it. Probably a bad idea to just stay in range, right? I've thought about doing this on a 315 just to sort of test it out. It's a lot easier to dodge things like that. I can, like, attack anywhere on the screen, really. Means that I won't have to switch any gear when it does the next phase. Honestly, this wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we're going for the long run. Like, I think this was a wrong decision, but it was kind of optional. Like, if you were in a group, I don't think this would be too terrible if it got BGS'd in anything up to about a 315. I don't think I would want to try it on anything higher. But I gotta say, most of those shots landed. So, I mean, from here on, we got a miss, a miss, a miss. Never mind. Okay, I might be being proven wrong right now. Out of 6 attacks, I got 7 attacks, I got 1 hit. 2 hits. 3 hits. Did they give him more defense during that phase or something? Like, am I going crazy? Am I just horribly unlucky? Either one's very possible. Alright, first room, a little bit rough because of the Kara spec after the monkey room and some decisions that were made at Baba. We're coming out of that with 4.5 out of the 6 that we came in with. Theoretically, I could get through zebak by just not using offensive prayers and flicking my defensive prayers, so zebak can be done with no prayer use. That's not much of an issue. It is a little annoying, but it's possible. Which means that I've got Akka to worry about practically. And because I end up forcing a Kara spec to be able to go into the final phase of that at as full HP as possible, because I really hate that phase, that means that we'll say that I'll use, I don't know, that's about 2 doses for that spec, so we'll say if I have a prayer pot and a half going into Akka, then anything else should pretty much be for... So like this right here, these 3 pray pots effectively are for Kephri and zebak. Thinking about it that way, we're way overstocked on supplies at that. Like we'd probably die at Kephri even a couple of times and not worry about it. Alright, place your bets. Is the BGS gonna hit? And if so, what numbers are we looking at? I'm hoping for a 30. Like, cumulative, grand total. That means we gotta do a one-shot 30 right here? No, 0-0. Damn. Truly is Schrodinger's spec. If you didn't BGS spec, it would have been a max hit. If you did BGS spec, it's a 0. But either way, we're back to 65% on the first phase of Kephri. We're doing pretty fine. Pretty quick here either way. It's not like you need to BGS Kephri, it's just that I don't bring Burning Claws, and I don't really bring anything like Void Waker. Speaking of... Because I'm 3-downing the last phase, the DDS that I'm bringing feels a little bit... not pointless, but I don't know what the word is for it. It just... If I'm going to go for a 2-down, I need a DDS. But if that's sort of not the meta, which seems to be the way that we're playing it lately... What should I swap that out with? Because, I mean, I don't really need a 7th prayer pot. I don't particularly need any buff potions with me in the raid. I don't think that would really benefit me. Pretty much, Void Waker is the only thing I can think of, and the only place I'd probably use it is Kephri. But Kephri's already just like a nothing boss, kind of. It's just a time waster. I don't know. If you're watching, or if you're watching this in the future possibly, leave a comment or chat in the live chat. It's so confusing to me because a lot more people actually end up watching this as a VOD than end up watching it as, like, a live stream. So I don't know who the hell to talk to, but whatever. If you have any suggestions for a replacement for the DDS, with the consideration that I'm probably just going to go for 3-downs forever at this point, if there are more points, I'm open to it. I know that the Void Waker isn't terrible as like a whack weapon, basically. But anytime that I've thought about buying one, all I think is like, well, if I'm going to Void Waker spec, why wouldn't I just Fang spec? As much as I like the Void Waker's 100% accuracy, the Fang practically has that in this raid, so it's kind of weird, you know? Wasn't really watching Kephri's HP there. Oh, good, we just max hit a 42. That's not what I wanted at all, but that's fine. No longer have to worry about moving this thing. There we go. And the exploding swarm, there it is. This will stand up any second, so I'm just going to wait it out. There it is. I think if I summon my Brawl right now, It'll be gone by the time that Kephri is at 0% on this HP bar, but if it's not, I've got to be a little bit careful about the double poop. I actually missed an attack. I'll be damned. It's just with Piety and a Fang, you really don't miss much. And realistically, I should just be throwing us back every once in a while anyway. I don't think I saw flies around my character, weirdly enough. Anyway, 7 seconds on the thrall. And it did just poop, so I'm just going to throw another spec on it right now and just try to get another one out of it. There we go. Beautiful. Don't have to worry about a thing. At some point it'll just automatically turn off my prayers, and the fight will just sort of come to a natural conclusion when its HP gets to 0. That's how Kephri feels to me. It's just like a waiting room boss. I'm sure that's how some of the better players feel about 99% of the content in this game, though. I enjoy the raid, don't get me wrong, and the times that I've screwed up Kephri and been in a situation where I'm like, oh good, now I have to try and fight it with a bofo. Oh, 40. From like back in one of these corners or something it's been exciting and interesting, but once you really know how Kephri works, it really is just a matter of, okay, now we just wait 5 minutes for Kephri to be over. Nice, double salt raid, level 2 Krondus, and we'll end up with a level 2 Het, so it'll be a 5-color puzzle. Just a personal habit from the days when I started learning Toa to switch to mage gear as soon as I switch into this room. I don't know if it actually matters that much. I don't know if these crocodiles have a particularly large weakness to mage, but the first time that I learned this room with a group of about 4 other people that had never learned this room before, and one person trying to herd a bag of cats. So my job was to stand in the middle and freeze every crocodile that I could, and if they weren't moving, to attack them and try and kill them. Which meant my job every time we came into this room was to switch to mage. Oh, that's not dead. Does seem nice and accurate. That's gonna hit me. Why didn't... Look, I'm happy to be at 99 HP, I'm just saying I'm confused. I genuinely, every single time that I'll call it out and be like, no, that's gonna hit me. It doesn't hit me. Every single time that I think I'm going to be fine, it hits me. This room confuses me to no end. When you run through the green stuff, you take damage, except for when you don't take damage. To hell with it. We're BGSing a giant crocodile and being done with our life. Might as well summon a thrall. Piety's on. Bonk. Total miss. Round 2. A 3. That's the day I'm having, isn't it? I just feel like it's going to use the magic attack soon here. There it is. Anyway, we effectively have 4 whole goddamn prey pots for this boss and a Het, or akka, whatever you want to call it. So we're totally cruising on supplies here. I could just leave offensive prayers off for most of this fight and be fine, I think. Uh-oh. That was a little riskier than I meant it to be. I thought it was 1 tile further to the side. %70 already. Should be doing waves, or, sorry, first solve pretty soon. Still on mage. Nice. Oh. I don't like that. I mean, there were other ways to do it, I've had bad experiences with my bow just deciding to wait until the barrel is, like, over here somewhere to shoot it. Oh, great. This is not where I want to be, actually, at all. So I'm going to just start running this way and hope I beat the sludge. Beautiful. And then they're going to hopefully time out before they get to me? Yes, that was not calculated at all, but if it had been, it would have looked just like that. Alright, final solve. One in the middle. Oh, didn't mean to run through that, but that's fine. That's less fine. So the question is, do we care a spec? We're at 40 HP. I'm gonna drink one extra prey pot and resummon this dick. And think about it. So if I screw up one prayer, the amount of poison damage that I take for the rest of the fight's probably going to be enough to will me down. We did just block the mage prayer, though. Might just do this. And just, like, watch intently to make sure this doesn't hit me. So if I have to use extra prey pots, that's fine, but... Oh, okay. Didn't think I got that on in time, I misclicked it. Can we please land some good hits? 9%? I don't want to have to waste supplies on this. How? How is it still alive? Okay. Thank you, Thrall. At least you were doing your damn job. Holy crap. Alright, totally unnecessary, but... That brings us into this room with 3 1/4 prey pots. Now, let's go ahead and one down this one whether I get hit or not, now that I know I probably don't have time to actually step off of it in a solo. You likely do if you have 99 mining. But I don't, so... I gotta say, my character is really looking good with all these different pieces of equipment on. Got the banana picks. I got whatever the hell this necklace even looks like. Like lion's teeth or something. Tiger teeth, shark teeth, that's what I'm looking for. Got the stoplight armor on. I mean, I'm really rocking it. Alright, inventory's not even too screwed up. We've got 1 minute and 28 on salt. HP's down a little bit after that situation, but that's fine. We'll do that, and away we go. As long as I don't have a major issue on Akka, 78 HP probably is a fine start. If I have to care a spec when it's under, like, excuse me, if it's over, like, 40% or something, then I'll probably just use a second one with this many prey pots. If you're wondering, by the way, why I'm a little uncomfortable with the Kara spec, it took me like 200 goddamn raids to get the yellow jewel. So I'm still a little bit used to the idea of just using a bunch of brews through this. Or even taking life first. Okay, we got black, yellow, black, yellow, black, back and forth. I know I just summoned a ranged thrall, but I'm lazy and that's just that's just gonna have to work for now. There we go. Oh, crap. Crap! Okay, we're fine. I'm not gonna try and melee this. I could, but I'm not gonna try to. Because I can just stay in range through its mage and melee phase, so this is fine. This should be fine. Oh yeah, 42 into a 39, I think we'll be alright. So we got white, red, white, yellow, black. A little bit awkward, but we're not dead. Gonna have to carry a spec soon, though. Jeez. This thing's blasting me. Might just do it right now, actually. No. Oh, Jesus. Is that... okay. I didn't realize that was still going. Well, I might have to carry a spec regardless of circumstance here in a second. So white, red, white, yellow, white. Nice. Okay, we're full. Now we're really full. Alright, perfect. So that'll give me enough time to regenerate another Kara spec if I need it. I'm not too worried about that anymore. I'm gonna switch to range right now because it's probably gonna switch to melee anyway. Yep. Wasn't counting, but it just kind of felt right. So we got white, yellow, black, yellow, white. Nice. Did a 33. Alright, so we just gotta take it down to 20%, or down through the last 20% rather, and then we're into the final phase. I have literal crap tons of prey pots left if I need them, so I could Kara-spec through this if I need to, so I'm gonna keep my prey fairly high, because honestly they're fairly cheap. Wasting 24 minutes for a dose of prey pot isn't really worth it at this point. Crap. Wasn't watching that one. Oh, don't hit a 0. Come on now. Four down. Well, we got 2 Scarabs, 4 Eladinis, but we only got 1 Ambrosia, so it looks like we're probably... I could keep a prey pot with me if I really wanted to, I guess, but I think we'll be okay. And honestly, I might even go for a 2 down just for the sake of it. Let's see, we're not going to need this anymore. Alright, this looks pretty good. I got 2 minutes and 46 seconds on the salt, but I've got 2 doses left. How you going, Dustin? Running insanity? Absolutely not. Pretty much everything else, though. 315 without insanity. Oop, and do I have my... I do. Okay. For a split second, I thought I had the wrong weapon on. And that's good enough, actually. So we're going to stay here until now. And because it gave me 1 ambrosia and a lot of prayer supplies, I'll prayer flick through this a little bit, lazy flick a bit. And after the damage, we'll go for a Kara spec. Damn, we're actually doing pretty good damage to the obelisk this time. Last time, unfortunately, I had to tank the entire second round of those attacks. Okay, Karis is there. Let's do that now. It's a little slow on getting back onto the obelisk, but that's okay. Nice. Alright, just sort of visually inspecting my inventory, making sure I'm not missing anything. Oh good, we're starting with my absolute least favorite spec that it does. This is the thing that killed me the most while learning this particular raid, is this goddamn AoE attack. Super easy to avoid damage from it now that I know what it does, but learning it was not fun. Alright, so if I want to go for a 2 down, I can. I think I'll still go for a 3 down, but I had the option now, so that's nice. Insanity with Bofa doesn't feel good at all? Well, the only thing that I've ever used to fight the last boss is the Bofa, and I can agree that it feels fucking terrible to fight it with Insanity on, so yeah, I agree. I could see that. Am I gonna make that? Yeah. I've done it a couple of times, not at a 315 necessarily, at maybe a 285 I think was the highest that I did, or a 270 something. But I gotta tell you, it wasn't fun. Do we go for a 2 down? I think we go for a 3 down just for the points, and because I want to sip my coffee here. Much better. And finally unplug the mouse charge cable now. That's probably good enough. What do I need? Mage gear. Don't know how the hell I just did that. Thunder skills again, fantastic. Am I gonna have to move this time, I wonder? In fairness, it's been giving me like the easiest versions of Thunder skills I've ever seen, so I'm pretty happy about that. Might as well heal up now while I have the opportunity. Gonna go for a double BGS spec, or actually maybe a triple by the time that we get there. Stretch the hands out here. How you doing, chicken? Just about to come into the last phase. Well, the last room anyways of this boss fight. Technically the second last phase, I guess. So we get a miss. A miss. Usually a BGS here has been pretty solid for me. 51. Okay. It was worth it going for 3. Third time's a charm. Oh shit. Okay. Don't know quite what happened there, but I almost got rocked by the ground attack. Just decided not to move, apparently. Anyway, should be pretty much autopilot from here, so what I'll do is I'll just try and heal through the skulls, basically. So that I'm not brewing myself down for this phase. And if you're just watching me for the first time, I always skull skip, not because I think it's good or more points or anything like that. I just think it's a way easier way to deal with this this boss. I mean, I've been in this raid for 32 minutes. I don't want to end up having to do it again, you know? I'd like to come out of this with some kind of loot. And non-insanity mode skull skipping is super easy. You just... The first one you just click, obviously, as soon as you get to that row that I've got marked there. I think it's the 5th tile out from the wall on either side. And as long as you're clicking on one of the skulls that's somewhere around the middle, you just sort of auto-path your way through the explosion. You know what, I would take gold bars over nothing, because they had the chance of being something, whereas nothing never had a chance at all. I'd rather be slapped in the face with another double gold bars drop. Or was it a triple? I don't even know. The entire chest was gold bars, so it's the worst loot I've ever had from Tombs. It's like rolling all mind runes when you're trying to do, what do you call it? Barrows. Oh, I guess I need to get my scarabs out the next time that I'm doing a skull skip. I might actually end up needing them. I got 2 of them this time, so might as well use them. Are we on 105 HP? I might as well just drink that. Get that free 11 overheal. Then almost immediately lose it with the the prayer screw up that I almost had there. That's fine. Coming up to 40%. Thrall just noped out. I'll resalt. And then if I can grab my scarab, nice. That's dodge 1 rock. Second one will be auto-dodged. Kind of annoying that I had to switch prayers middle of that, but that's fine. We can just use a scarab there and not have to worry about pray points for a long damn time. As long as I remember to do that. And we're all set. It felt a little early. I think I'm gonna stay here for a sec. There we go. I think the problem with Bofa and Insanity is that it feels so right to do this with a Bofa without Insanity mode. Because I can just click, and the moment that like the game tick where I see the XP drop and I hear the sound, I know that I can safely click the next tile because I'll basically be attack delayed by my movement for the exact right amount of time. So this time I dodge 2 rocks. Whereas with the Insanity mode, it's not even so much that I have to worry about something like remembering what side it's going to start on every time. It's just that I can't keep up with the whole, like, adding a pattern that I now have to keep track of like, okay, shoot, dodge, shoot, dodge, shoot, dodge, shoot, dodge. Or if you're one game tick behind, that completely screws you and then you take a bunch of damage. So I'm good with this. This is like a 5% chance to hit that purple table. Until you get up to a 350, it's still a 4.2% chance at the staff. I mean... Gonna do that, and then that, and womp 46, booyah. Why not? We'll go for another 59, goddamn. Say goodbye to like 100 HP there, bud. Not me. Okay. That's fine. We took damage from the lightning there because I was a little bit screwed up from my movement there. Alright, back to the old 1, 2, 3 shoot. Oh shit, that's gonna hit me. Just wanted to do the damage. Everywhere was unsafe. Alright, we're done. That was a 37-23, a little bit long. Not terrible though. 4.9 is gonna go up because we're running a 40-minute timer. It goes up to 497. So, I'm gonna take a moment and stretch my hand, have a sip of my coffee. No particular reason that I'm doing it right now. I can't be that much of a dick. Not a purple? Not a purple. Second run of the day, and what do we got? You had to say gold bars, chickens. You just had to say gold bars, didn't you? I literally rolled triple 99 gold bars once, and it was just like 3 99 gold bars, and it's just like, are you okay. Either way, this was 300k. And my supply cost is like maybe 40k per run. I wanted to check how many... Oh yeah, it's using like nothing for charges on this thing. I don't actually remember what it was, and I don't know if I can scroll this far. Maybe? No, it's gonna be like akka and... Okay. Unfortunate. Alright, 8244 on the charges. Either way, it's like 700 GP per cast with that staff, but it's worth it for me to just be able to ignore the melees in the monkey room. Because without that, I have to use augury if I'm using the toxic trident. Or get off my ass and get to... I think getting 99 magic gets me a max hit with the toxic trident. I'm actually not 100% sure. I might need to get up to 100. In which case I would have to imbued heart, which would be more expensive than any amount of cost for using this, so it's fine. Anyway, mage gear is there, we're wearing our range gear, spec weapons are back where they're supposed to be. Alright, let's grab another pre-pot. If you're curious about what invocations that was, then, well, have a look. Top to bottom, we're running softcore run, walk for it, need some help, walk the path, deadly prayers, on a diet, living larvae, blowing mud, aerial assault, everything for Krondus, everything but double trouble and keep back for Akka, everything but boulder dash for Baba, and everything but insanity. My logic with this is that until you get to a 350, the staff only is 4.2 to 4.5 at 350, and the next sort of like upgrade to that, I think, is at 400, where it goes up to 5.3. I'm not running a solo 400 for a 5.3% chance at a staff. See, a 315, I've got like a 90-95% chance that I'm going to clear that raid, even with a couple of screw-ups that I'm likely to have on my own. So a 95 to maybe even 100% clear rate, versus if I tried to do solo 400s, we'd be like a 10% clear rate. And it's like, yeah, it's a 10% clear rate. Sure, it might be like a 10% purple rate and a 5.2% staff chance, but there's no goddamn way that I'm going to be able to complete that with consistency. Have I done harder than a 315? The hardest raid that I've done was, I think, like a 380-ish. I don't really remember. I think that was the day that I got the Missouri crafting kit, because you'd notice I've got the Missouri assembler, which comes from surviving through a 350 without dying at all. So, I never bothered to do a 400 or higher than that, though. I did join a 8-person free-for-all one time, just to see kind of what the hype was about and how fast it would go. Absolutely disgusting is all I can tell you. The red Karis with the adrenaline potion and ruby bolts and the Zerite crossbow made every boss basically start at 30% HP. Like, it was hilarious. I didn't have any of that, so I was just kind of along for the ride, shooting with a bofa and hoping for the best. But like, we ran into zebak. They started the fight with like 6 people hitting, I think, a 140 back to back to back to back, and then everyone just pulled out Tumekens shadows and melted the goddamn thing. There was somebody using the seer cull to lower its magic defense, and it was like a 16.5-minute raid. It was stupid. Like, it was actually just dumb. And why not? We'll summon a thrall for the hell of it. Okay, not too bad. Oops, wrong prayer. I'm gonna go for that and try and grab this guy here so he doesn't summon too much this time. And this time I'm gonna have to piety that one, switch to mage, grab that one. Try and grab this one on the way past, maybe grab you. Nice, got that repaired. This is, I don't have offensive prayers on, so that's gonna take 2 attacks one way or another. Why am I still praying mage? Who knows? Alright, so if I can get a couple of exploders, can you, like, tile these up like you can, I bet you can, can't you? It's probably a way to get them to, like, stack up the way that you can with, what am I trying to say? Bursting tasks. Oh, Jesus. That's gonna pull me. Okay, so if I can get this exploder to work for me instead of against me, we'll be in some good shape here, actually. Move, move. Oh, God. Okay, okay, okay. Nice. Not quite as screwed over as I thought it was. So this is why I like this staff, because it can just one-shot these things, and I didn't mean to grab this, but I guess there is still one of these over here, so I should probably hit him. And grab this for the faster attack speed, finish up the room real quick, at the cost of about 2 doses of Prey Pot. That's a lot better than the last time. Okay, so the gear glowing red in your inventory is your melee. Yeah, I chose to use a RuneLite plugin to color things and tag things because I got tired of, like, upgrading a piece of gear and not knowing what piece of equipment it was, basically. I think you have to shift right-click on... you might have to turn on a plugin, actually. It might be called inventory tags or something like that. But it's the same reason that I've got yellow around my prey potions and spec weapons. Obviously my bow is down here as a green weapon. You'll probably get called a noob for doing it, but I mean, who gives a shit? I like it. I don't need it, but it's kind of handy. So we hit an 8 into a 0 with those 2 specs. That's unfortunate. I mean, 8's better than 0, I guess. It is a 20 max reduction, I think, for Baba. Another thing I kind of like doing, and I haven't actually reset it up this way, I used to have it this way, but I used to have it set up so that if I was on the last dose of a potion, then it would have like a colored border around it, so that I could tell when I was about to be out of a, you know, prey pots, or when it was the last dose of a anti-venom or something. Okay, well if you're gonna be a dick, I'll run to this one. It's a mistake, but I'm gonna run across. Just don't want to get caught out. It felt like a mistake anyway. Alright. Back into the safety net of the top of the room that I don't think you're really supposed to be able to shoot them from, but hey, unless they want to spawn the boulders up here, you know, I'm gonna do it as long as it exists. Means that instead of 66%, we're starting this part with Bob at 52. Actually, a little bit lower than that because it was slow on the change, 49%. If you're ever learning Toa and you're doing this with a group and they've got a BGS, and you just so happen to be in, like, Crystal with a Bofa, just stay in that. Just use that the whole fight. Makes the rolling balls part way easier to switch into, obviously. But anything under about a 250 or so, I find that it practically doesn't miss. That might not be fast enough. No, we're just barely there. So we're starting at 26.8%. See how far we can cheese them down. It used to be a little bit more important because Baba used to hit way more damage, chip damage throughout the whole fight. It would hit like 9s through prayer sometimes. Which is a pain in the ass, really, more than anything. So 15% for this part. Oh, slow on the swap again, actually, 12.1. And I've got 4 of these specs, so I'm going to use them all. Okay, or 3 of them. Use as many as you can survive, anyway. And that's the monkey room for 3 doses of Prey Pot. Not my best work, but we're through. The only room here that I don't like doing is that one, so we're going to go right side. Let's see if we get the 1 in 5. Is this going to be boot on the first click? Damn. Boot on the last click. Same thing, only different. I think this room is one of the best demonstrations of how kind of far ahead the actual true tile can get from your character, because like you see my character is here, this is where I really am on the server. So wherever this is, the tick that it lands on something is when I'm going to interact with it. And if you're wondering how to do that, I mean, I'm not even doing it tick perfect, but if you're wondering how to do that fast, that's what's going on there. So the blowpipe's going to switch over to here. I always forget to do that at the start of the fight. BGS specs are... Ooh, 51. Shit, we're not even going to go for 2. That's good enough. Oh, damn. So we're at 65%. 62. Probably won't be missing any attacks on Kephri this round. Did not mean to run that far, though. Still had 19% by the time that it summoned those. And I know you can just run around and kill those, but, just leave prayer on. Nice. And back to Kephri. Next up is going to be 1 melee, 1 mage. So since I ended up with about 7, maybe 8 doses of excess prey potion last time, even though I had to Hera spec through the monkey room, or after the monkey room I should say, that basically means that I've got probably in the nature of 8 to 9 doses of prey pot, excuse me, that I would say is excess. So, not really too worried about wasting stuff anymore, especially considering the price of them is so low. Here we go. Probably should have used the 1 dose first, though. Perfect timing. Not perfect timing. Whoops. Almost got blown up. Alright, so the only other thing we kind of have to worry about for this fight is getting double pooped. So we'll throw a couple of specs on right now for fun. We have 42 seconds on the thrall. The odds that it happens are pretty low at this point. This has been a really solid fight. But it would be really unfortunate if that thrall did just enough damage to get that last percent of HP to get me double crapped. So, gotta be a little cautious. Probably not going to want to take it all the way down until the next time that it decides to crap on me here. And the thrall is down. Nice. Okay, perfect. 8%, not even going to touch it. So now we summon thrall, spec. Hope that we can do it right here, ideally. Nice. This side's cooked now anyway, so we can move over. No need for overhead prayers. And if I do, I can always just use another prey pot. Actually took me down pretty far that time. $43 HP. You don't lose points for taking damage, so I see no point in wasting prey points. It's a double salt raid, that's really good news, and we got level 1, level 1. I kind of like doing level 2 Akka, so we'll do level 1 Krondus. And double salt raid means we can just use this right now. And not have to worry about being unbuffed for the entire rest of the raid. That'll deal some kind of damage to me, right? Yeah, 13. Look for the happy face. There it is. That's a one-shot. That'll hit me. Second one didn't, though. So we're going in with 77 HP. I could have done that a little bit better, but I didn't, so sue me. Let's see if the BGS is going to hit this time. Ooh, 15. And 20. You know what? I'll take it. 35. I think the max here might be 30 or 40 or something like that. That's probably pretty much a maximally reduced one. Should be using a blood attack soon though, so I gotta be a little bit cautious here. Oh, there it is over there. Pretty easy solve. Gonna get the hell out of here, mind you. So I think it might be able to melee me from that close. It's a little bit dangerous to be within melee range of this boss, if you couldn't tell. It's a goddamn alligator or a crocodile or whatever it is. It's, it can bite you. Nice easy run here. So if we can get it low enough, I can actually skip the next solve phase, which would be really nice to see, but I don't know. If it's under 25 here, nah, shit, it's gonna do the solve. Okay, fuck, what am I doing actually? Wait, what's happening right now? It just attacked 4 times during the last oh, it's in turbo mode going into the last solve phase. I didn't know that could really happen the way that it just did, so that's neat to see. Somehow I managed that. Just trying to summon a thrall though. There we go. Just kind of want to get down here in case it decides to be a prick and summons a bunch of those blood things. That'll do. Yep, there they are. It'll be dead before they get to me anyway, so that's fine. And that leaves us with 4 and 1 dose for Akka, so yeah, we're just cruising here. This is going to be a level 2 Akka, so it means that I've got to do the center game puzzle thing with 5 colors instead of 4. And my inventory is actually still so full of supplies I have to drop some and juggle them to be able to pick things up for this. And this one's going to take a minute because it's going to make me do 3 of these. Done. Hopefully I don't get hit by too many of the orbs, but if I do, I do. I always like a little moment like this in a raid where you get to have a bit of a coffee break. If I need to resalt, I can just withdraw 1, I think. You know what? I'll just salt now. I wasn't going to, but I don't want to have that in my inventory and then try and swap and not have the inventory space to do so and have an incident partway through the first fight. Just not worth it. Alright, 20% down already. Let's see what spec it's going to start with. Are we going straight to the middle when it goes to range, or... Well, to be honest, it's going to be so soon, I might as well just switch now. Oops. Well, middle is going to be on mage. Still gotcha. So we got black, red, white, red, black. There and back again. That's actually really good. Excuse me, because that's going to bring it to 60. And then I can immediately move. And we'll need range gear on in just a second, so I'm actually going to switch right now. Not that I knew that it was... Oh, Jesus. Okay. No, I meant to do that. Totally. Didn't know that it was going to switch right that second and do the orb spec, but that's fine. So we got yellow, white, yellow, black, yellow. %, nice. Perfect time for me to jump over here. And I'm going to resummon that as a ranged throw anyway, just for the sake of it. I think that was about to expire, or maybe it wasn't. I'm not honestly that sure. Doesn't matter. Either way, 2 prey potion doses later, we are in melee gear and just about to start wailing on this prick. Gotta get it down to 20% so we can move to the final square, but it's probably gonna switch melee soon, so I'm gonna switch... Oh, okay, it's gonna do it right now. Yellow, black... Yellow. It was going to preemptively switch because I could still hit it with range during that phase and try to do it between the attacks, but it just happened to be right that exact moment. The other nice thing about this versus Twitch is even if there was a 30-second chunk of ads, and technically there are supposed to be ads during live streams, I've got it set to the sort of moderate amount, like the middle amount. It gives me an option of like how aggressive I want the ads to apparently be. I just left it on the default, which was the middle. I don't know if that's a lot. No real opinion on it. But regardless of circumstance, you could just pause the stream, wait for the ad to be done, re-watch it in 1.25 time, and then get back to live mode and still miss nothing, effectively. Whereas on Twitch, you missed it? Oh, okay, go check the VOD. Oh, the VOD's like 7 minutes behind, or doesn't exist depending on their settings? Sucks to be you. Oh, and the VOD will probably have a forced mandatory ad or two that you've got to watch to see if that part of the content is even there. You know? So I just... massive, massive fan of YouTube as far as a streaming platform compared to the two. Just gonna go ahead and Kara spec right now while we have a moment. And might as well just summon a melee throw now since it can deal damage to this thing. There we go, finally. And we'll throw a spec at you, why not? 51. See, like, this isn't overwhelming at all. It's the trying to move from one side to the other without getting hit, and, like, trying to figure out the whole 2-tile movement thing versus a moving object, and, like, attack delay versus, like, when you can move. This gets very overwhelming if you try to take it seriously, so I just run through them and try to dodge the ones that are coming at me once I've stayed still long enough. Alright, so what do we get from the spirit? Okay, it's a double salt raid, but it's only a single ambrosia raid with 2 and 3. It's a little bit low on the prayer, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm considering keeping a pray potion with me, but I need to know that I can do this raid with the supplies from this raid, so I'm not going to. I won't need this anymore, I'm already in my melee gear, and this should be over here. So, we need pink, yellow, paper, blue, and white. Personally, I like to have this in the same organization every single time, or pretty close to. I'm gonna take 1 second to stretch, crack my knuckles. On Twitch, you can get rid of ads for $17 a month. YouTube has some sort of YouTube premium thing. I have no idea if it gets rid of ads, but I assume that it does, but I think it's bundled with some sort of YouTube music or something. I don't know. I've heard people complain that it costs too much as a ad remover because it does other things that people don't necessarily want from it. So I don't know if YouTube has an ad-free mode that's reasonably cheap. Thinking about it. Okay, well we landed the first 2, and the third one I didn't actually see the damage that it dealt, but I did see the XP drop, so I think we're maximally reduced on defense on this sumbitch. Although we do only have 2 ambrosias, so I'm going to try and Kara spec the damage from this. 14 per month on YouTube? That's not great, but it's not that bad. Better than 17. And there's a lot more content that it frees you up for. Oh, and they have a family plan, even better. So I'm gonna move. I'm gonna pray pot once. I'm gonna Karis. I'm gonna switch back. And then I'm gonna hope that this does enough damage before those orbs. Yes. Okay. We're not taking any excess damage. We're in really good shape now. So I'm even going to summon a Mage Thrall for the shits and giggles for the first phase here. Couldn't really be in better shape right now, actually. That went as well as it could have gone. We landed at least enough of the BGS specs to get a full reduction. The orbs didn't hit us on the second phase. They didn't screw something up and die. So about 60% here. Now the other thing that I should actually do is make sure that my inventory is such that I can just quick swap to melee without looking too closely at it. And it looks like it's in pretty good shape there. I don't know if that hits me or not. Okay, it didn't. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a whack. I didn't actually see if the whack hit or not, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going for a 3 down regardless. Just kind of nice to get it. Practice and all that, you know? Oop, move. Okay, so I'm just gonna drain the spec on this thing. And then probably only gonna end up with, you know, I can just whack from here, this is fine. I'll just save spec from now on for the BGS for the last phase. For the third phase, sorry. I think this is only 8 anyway that I get, right? Oh no, we did get we must have gotten the BGS whack, it's at 55%, I didn't realize. Okay, well that's good. My timing wasn't off. Uh-oh. don't do that. Come on now. Be nice. Perfect. See, that's nice. I had to move, and it used an attack that I had to move to avoid. Good thing Eladini's warden's listening to me, apparently. Oh, not within melee range. Okay. Should probably be able... Yeah, we have enough time to regen enough. Okay, so we're going for a triple spec. Depending on how it hits. Okay, we got a nothing. We got a 50, so it's already maximum reduction, I'm pretty sure. And we got a 31 just to, you know... I bought the whole sword, I'm gonna use the whole sword. Okay, we're in pretty good shape. We got 2.5 minutes on the salt with one more dose left. We've got a decent chunk of yellow pots in case I screw something up real bad. I think this was a double scarab. And things have gone fast enough to where I'm not actually even out of the Eladinis yet. There have been raids that have been basically out of that potion by now, and it's kind of been scary. Or been on like 2 or 3 doses or something like that. Not actually sure how much we have. I didn't see any in the pouch when I looked, but I was mostly just focusing on clicking on the scarab, so I think I've only got that 4-dose Eladinis, and then all we have left for prayer is scarabs and ambrosias. So that'll be fine. A scarab is basically like somewhere around 40 seconds of... I think it's like 20 seconds to fully regen, but then it also fully regenerates my prayer points. So it's like maybe a minute worth of fight, 2 minutes worth of fight per click of that. So between 4 and 8 minutes worth of maxed out prayer. I think we'll be just fine. Anyway, skull skip number 2, wait for that thing, turn on prayers, start clicking. About halfway there. Next skull skip will introduce a new mechanic that we can completely and utterly ignore. Rocks being thrown from above. And I'll explain that once we get there. What I mean by ignoring them, I mean... Might as well resalt now, we got about a minute left, and this is not going to take us 8 minutes to get through the rest of this fight. Okay, so, when we listen for the rocks, we listen for 1, and that tells me I can start clicking and we're ready to skip. And for the next skull skip, we listen for 2. Aside from that, they are completely ignorable because that one's going to land somewhere where I was running. The next one's going to land where I'm standing. The next one's going to land in the middle. And by the time it lands, I'm already 2 full cycles through there. So now it's on the left. Totally ignorable. So if you're learning this raid and you're doing these particular invocations and everything is exactly the same as this, then, you know, that's super easy. On 23%, I could probably resummon, but this is going to be the longest skulls. So it just kind of feels like a bad time too. So, skull skip. This time we're going to dodge 2 rocks. Or if you'd rather, 3 prayers, so that's the first prayer, second rock just came down, second prayer. And third prayer is going to be... Nope. Jesus Christ. Okay, never mind. Something got fucked up with the timing on this raid. That's interesting. Why was that different? Oh, I know why that was different. Okay, sorry, I had that timed out for zebak being level 2 instead of level 1, so I guess the prayers actually attacks come faster on a level 2 than a level 1. Didn't realize that. Okay, problematically, I don't have enough resources to finish this raid now, so that's a failed raid. But it's a lesson learned, so totally okay with that. That means that the rocks actually are the only 100% consistent way that I can time that out. Now you say, oh dang, that's, as I say, that's actually a good thing, because that means that I'm never ever gonna screw that up ever again in the future. There were two different things that were confusing me about skull skipping, and it was that the first time, there's nothing to worry about. The second time, when it gets to 60% HP and you start have to worry about overhead prayers, the first overhead prayer that you have to turn on, you turn it on and then you start clicking. The second time it'll be rock, so you dodge one rock and you start clicking. But at the same time, there's two overhead prayer attacks that are going to come at you. And the time that I died there and took a 116, in that situation, I should have started clicking the moment that I heard the second rock and dodged it, and instead was thinking, well, if it's been 2 prayers the last time, it should be 3 prayers this time, without thinking. The order that I do them in is always Monkey Room and Baba first, and it's either zebak 3rd or 4th, which can make zebak level 1, 2, or 3, depending, because of the one invocation that I've got that changes the level a little bit randomly. It's Walk the Path, which is completing a path during a raid will cause other paths to level up, increasing hit points and damage, and for every 2 levels, bosses gain a more potent special attack. So in the case of Akka, it gets a 5th attack in the center. Zebak, I think, just keeps getting faster and faster attack cycles and smaller wave cycles, things like that. So because of that, Zebak is a bit more variable, but Baba is always the lowest level it can be when I go through this raid and kill it in the order that I killed them in. So that tells me that I just need to dodge rocks, really. Getting confused about that and considering, like, okay, well, is it rocks and prayers is what just got me killed. So I'm going to freshen my cup of coffee. I'm absolutely going for more runs than that, because that's... We're not ending on that. That was BS. And I'll leave up my collection log just in case you're curious. I used to do a lot of 270s, 275, somewhere in that area, so that's why I've got almost 300 normal mode completions, because it took over 200 raids. I think it was like 220-ish, or 180 maybe, I don't know. It was around 200 raids to get the Jewel of the Sun, which lets me heal in there, basically. Do the actual raid right. So, yeah, I did a lot of normal modes until I got that. Anyway, back in about 5 minutes. Well, I'm ready to waste 33 more minutes of my life for nothing. See you later, chickens. Now I got a pre-pot. Gonna head on back in. Actually, this is something I wanted to check. 8203. So less than 100. I forget what that number actually was before, but it was 8,200 and something. 100 charges would be like 70k. Yikes. That actually is taking a good chunk of, That might be costing me more than I think it is. I'm gonna write that number down this time. It was 8203. So... I just don't see how I would be using that many charges. I guess that whole section at the end, but... It's only really a problem until I get several more magic levels. See if I can do this without losing too much HP this time. Oh, come on. Well, at least that one shot. Just everything wrong there. Want that. Okay, shamans are down. I didn't realize I was about to take a 42 from that. That's unfortunate. Okay, I thought I could take out the melee with that. Apparently not. Unfortunate. Oh, this bastard over here just hit a 15 on me. We're already definitely going to have to Kara spec our way out of this, so I'm not too worried about what happens next. As long as I don't die. Okay, that actually helps a lot. Didn't get that on in time, that's fine. Okay, I'm probably dead. Time to Kara spec, holy shit. Unless this heals me. Of course it didn't. So, we're just not going to talk about that whole fiasco of a monkey room that I just did there. Okay, nobody saw that. We're alive, and that's the only thing that matters. Don't worry about the fact that it cost me an entire prey potion to get through it. You see, this is actually a strategic maneuver, because now my inventory is organized a little bit better. Even though you know what, I'm just gonna go for a BGS whack while I wait. Hell with it. Why not, right? Didn't have it in time. And it missed. Are you... I'm having a hard time this raid. My Fang isn't hitting. These goddamn things somehow just comboed me for a 9 and an 18? What? And this has taken so long that I've got half a BGS spec back. Like, what? And we're at 85%. Yeah, this is just going bad. Hopefully we can pull this raid out of our ass. I think I was thinking about maybe trying to go for another BGS spec, but I think at this point I'm gonna wait. Might have to use a Karis. Oh, don't you do it. Okay. Uh-oh. Misclicked twice. That was good. Don't have enough time for this, but I'm still gonna try. Fuck. Was not good to try. Move, goddamn you. Okay. This game's movement sometimes just actually makes me insane. Yeah, I think we're gonna be Kara-specking a second time in the monkey room on this one. How you doing, Surge? I'm not even gonna try and say that right now. I'm having a meltdown in the monkey room here. Just bear with me. We're witnessing a bad time. Holy shit. Just getting my ass beat by this thing. I think we can probably pull it back together, but somehow I got comboed, like, massive damage by the monkeys that open the little, like, side things. I have no idea how I took an 18 from that. It felt like bullshit. Maybe it was the banana peels that did it. Surgimaru. That sounds right. Sorry, I was focusing on a lot right in that exact moment, okay? Alright, we gotta do at least 3 boulders. Nice. The timing of that's been just a prick today. At least the Bofa's landing a few hits. Alright, last 20%, so I'm just gonna throw 4 specs and an extra thrall at him because I didn't realize that was actually still summoned. Shit. Okay, now we're good. That just got a little scary there. And fuck it, why not? We'll just even use another... Oh, spray pot. Not gonna catch me with that. Oh, that was possibly the worst Baba I think I've ever had, where I made it through alive. If you're gonna try a raid, Tombs of Amascut's the easiest one by far if you have the right gear. Give me a ballpark, like, total value of all 3, like, tribrid gear. Like, we talking like 10 mil, 50 mil, 100 mil, 500 mil, ridiculously max geared, what are we talking? Because if you can tell me a budget, I can sort of give you an odds of how easy this raid's gonna be for you. Because as you can probably see, I'm pretty far from max geared. And I just hit 99 defense recently, but otherwise, not max prayer, but nearly max stats. I need 99 mage for another max hit for the trident, otherwise I'm kind of stuck with using the Sang staff if I want to be able to max hit a 30 in the monkey room. I mean, I could toggle augury on every time I switch to the staff, but I'm having enough trouble. Okay, literally identical to mine. Lance isn't going to be useful to you. This is my melee setup. I'm just going to assume downgrades maybe the Rancor, which you don't need, but is an option if you have it. Rada's Blessing doesn't serve a purpose here, but if you are a hardcore Ironman, the right-click teleports here for some reason work in Toa. I don't think they're supposed to, but you can emergency teleport out with it, I think. Defender, if you have one. Avernika's obviously best in slot. This comes from the raid, but this is eventually going to be a really useful thing in the raid for you. BGS is super helpful. Not necessarily useful on Kephri because it almost never goddamn hits, but... yeah, double miss. Bando's gloves are perfectly viable. I've just happen to have ferocious gauntlets and it makes my melee swap 8 items, so I can take a entire and full row with melee and mage and all that kind of stuff. This should be here. My mage gear is practically ornamental, and it's totally fine. If you can get your mage gear to max hit a 30, then it's better, but it's absolutely not necessary. If you can max hit a 30 with augury, then it's fine. You'll want, like, at minimum a trident of the seas or whatever it is, or like a trident of the swamp if you want to. The max hit's useful, the poison is not. In my case, I'm 96 magic, so I'm just being an asshole and using a sang staff because I can. I need to step over one, I'm gonna get hit. Oops. If you want me to talk about what's going on during these fights, like, Kephri has multiple HP bars, obviously, and when it goes through an HP bar, it changes to a new phase of the fight. And whenever you have flies around you, you get shit on, so if you can keep them all in one spot like that, it can kind of... Oops, wrong phase. It can kind of keep you from blocking yourself off from other areas of the room. The first thing it's going to do is summon this little asshole over here, and you're probably already going to be praying range from the flying enemies in this room. If you can kill it fast enough, you can switch to a blowpipe and start shooting these. You don't have to use a blowpipe, just anything with a fast attack speed and long range is decent. These are basically just free points. If you don't get to switch to these fast enough, it's not a big deal. If you can kill an absolute shit ton of them, then you can actually prevent Kephri from healing. Those are the scarabs that run up to Kephri and heal it. I'm not using a melee weapon right now, I'm punching. I just punched Kephri for 15 damage. I don't know what to tell you with this. I wasn't even using prayers. That is something. Anyway, Kephri starts over 100% HP if you don't kill any of the spawns, but at the same time you get points for dealing damage in the raid, so it's just... it's whatever you have time for, really. I'm already working on a bunch of guides. I've got 13 of the 15 Slayer guides that I need recorded for the Master that I'm working on right now, and then I'm going to move up through them and then start doing boss guides and eventually Toa guides, because frankly, there are people that are a lot more artistic than I am when it comes to RuneScape that are, and I mean that in a positive way, that are better at making guide content that just understand what's going on here a lot better than I do. And that are sending, like, solo 450s and 500s and bullshit like that. I'm not, so it's one of those if you can't do, you probably shouldn't teach situations, in my opinion, so I don't generally like to make super high-end guides, but I had thought about making, like, a beginner's Toa guide. If you don't have the Fang yet, by the way, and you're an Iron Man or something like that, or if you, for some ungodly reason, couldn't afford the Fang, the Quest Karis is actually not terrible in here. So we're into the next phase. Because I don't have the more Overlords invocation on, we're going to summon a melee scarab and a mage scarab. The melee one attacks you with melee, no shit, so you're going to pre-melee. I pre-potted a... what the hell are they? The new anti-venoms that last longer. So I've still got 5 minutes of anti-poison, otherwise the ranged attackers would be poisoning me right now. Keep avoiding that keeps coming around every once in a while, and when this thing dies, pray range, that's about the same time this guy usually comes up, and we're back into the fight. Summon a Thrall. Use offensive prayers if you feel like it. We pretty much just have to wait until this phase ends. He's gonna shit on me. So Kephri being a dung beetle, this kind of makes sense that it's gonna shit on you. I don't really know why it shoots fireballs at you. I assume it's perhaps a dung beetle that's eaten Chipotle. I guess it would explain the streams of diarrhea all around the room. If you have a Fang every once in a while, you do have enough time to go for 2 hits, but I like to kind of stack the poop all around on this side. The only other thing that you have to worry about Kephri, aside from the fact that I now need to walk around to this side to be able to fight him right, is the fact that when it gets to 0 on this HP bar, it will immediately crap on you no matter what is happening. Now, what that means is, if you have flies around your character and you're about to get crapped on, like I am right now, you will get crapped on immediately twice in quick succession, and instead of... you see how I clicked out by, like, going this way? It kind of janks out, and from what I can tell, if you click away, like, in for 1 game tick, and then out for 1 game tick, it, like, sort of shoves you out, but otherwise it basically does the opposite of what you want it to do every fucking time. So don't get stuck, basically, by doing that. It's the other reason that I like to stack all the early poop over there, and then just sort of move over to the exit door at the end. The other thing is if you are praying range and you're like, oh geez, I'm gonna run out of prayer, oh no. The flying enemies barely hit you if you're wearing melee gear. I think in this raid level they hit like a max 5, but I'll let my prey run out about 57 HP right now. Okay, well they got lucky and did 10 damage in a stack like that, but that's kind of uncommon. Anyway, we've gone through 2 of the bosses. I like to do these 2 in that order first. I'm going to claim from the Helpful Spirit. I've got an invocation on... Oh, you don't get a drop until the very end of the raid. We're working up to fighting the final boss, basically. So we're halfway through the first set of 4 bosses. So in this case, we get Smelling Salts and Adrenaline, or you could take Chaos and Life. I like to take Power right off the bat because it gives you these ridiculous things that are basically overloads. And the level here dictates what I'm going to go for next. So because I've got level 1, I've got a raid invocation that levels up the other rooms when you complete... Oh, like ever? Oh, yeah. I mean, I've gotten 2 Missouri Chaps, 1 Eladini's Ward, 2 Fangs, 8 goddamn rings, and everything else you see here. I have not gotten the staff or the pet yet. But I've had some luck. I mean, I've hit the purple table, I don't know, 15-ish times. And every time that I've hit it, it's been a 4.2% chance of being a staff. So, that seems pretty good to me. Alright, so this room you can, if you're tick perfect, run all the way to this and go and get the water from that end and then run all the way to the plant before the crocodile has a chance to drink enough of it for it to impact you, but I have never had much success with that. Do that if you want to, but if you don't, then just look at which one of these has, like, eyes showing up in behind it. The next one would be... I don't know. Didn't look in time. But it gets those little smiley face, red background things over there. Do you get purples on one? You can get a purple on anything, theoretically. There are tales of someone getting a shadow off of their, like, quest completion mode, like their entry mode for the quest, but that feels like bullshit to me. So there's an odd mechanic when it comes to defense scaling in this raid, and it's a little bit of an odd mechanic, but it makes sense in the long term of things. There you go, use your magic attack. Anyway, the way the defense in this raid works for bosses is it gives them a % multiplier on their base defense, the higher you put the raid invocation, so I think these are like 166%, also on health and attack and things like that, but it's somewhere around 166%, but that scaling off of their base defense means that a VGS, as long as it actually lands, is more and more effective, basically, at the higher invocations. And at some point, excuse me, at some point it gets to a point where using a bone dagger is actually better, because it's more likely to hit. But I'm not sure that I would actually bring one. I just like the BGS. Satisfying seeing like a 60 or something. But either way, the most I can reduce this thing's defense and have it actually matter is something like 40, but because that 40 reduces before that 166% scaling, you kind of get where I'm going with that? Like, also, we have absolutely goddamn destroyed this thing. And because of that, I'm going to skip one of its phases. So usually it would do waves, solve, or solve, waves. In this case, this is only the third of its 4 special attacks, but because it's already below 25%, it's enraged and it's now just going to start attacking faster. So that's kind of convenient. It's also decided to use the mage attack while I'm not necessarily where I wanted to be, but that's okay. I think they'll run over to the left, maybe? No, they'll go to me. Shit. That's fine. Ah. His blood magic attack does heal him, so... So from what I can tell, that corner tile there never ever gets poison splattered on it. And there are a set number of sort of pre-made solves for each of the, like, quote-unquote solve waves. And generally, like, 99% of the time kind of thing, there's going to be a solve that is along that side on the first one, and then the second one is extremely likely to be in the middle. So as long as you're on that side, you can kind of decide where to go depending on how the specs play out. The other thing of it is, and this is more relevant to the second set of them, I kind of like being there for waves, because it gives me an opportunity to kind of take a look at what's coming. It just, I don't know, I like being there for waves. It's hard to explain, but after doing it enough times, it just feels like that's the only safe tile in the entire arena to stand on. Unless you're with a big group of people, then it's just good luck. Try to stay away from each other in that circumstance, because the blood attack is, I believe, an AoE. I mean, it's blood burst or blood barrage, however you want to look at it. Believe it or not, this is the only raid that I like. I've done Chambers of Zebak a little bit in the very far past, and I did maybe 1 or 2 clears a couple of months ago. And I gotta tell you, it's not my favorite. I would rather do Chambers of Zebak than Theater of Blood ever again, though. The only Theater of Blood I ever did was for the quest. I'm appreciative and thankful for the person that helped me through that. They explained what was going on during the raid enough that I now know that I never want to try that raid again. But it's a fun raid. It's just, I don't want to be that challenged during a raid, let's put it that way. I'm not good enough for that kind of shit. The thing that kind of screwed with me was that room with the pillars and the insects, where if you shoot them with, like, if they're green and you shoot them with, I think it's if they're green you shoot them with range, or maybe it's you never shoot them with range if they're green. Doesn't matter, you know what I mean. If you shoot them with the wrong style, then you can basically never damage them again if you're solo, or you have to, like, call them out in some capacity to your team if you screw them up, because then someone else has to, like, step in, and it just seemed like an interesting raid, but way too much communication for me to be able to handle. Chambers of Zebak is really fun, but I am so terrible at that boss, it's not even funny. So we get yellow, white, red, black, yellow. Like, I've got like 20-25 KC there over the last couple of years. I've not done that boss with any consistency. But it's bad. Anyway, I should probably resummon that as melee. Get the thrall actually doing something. So with my luck, this is going to switch to mage right when I start running, isn't it? Yep, it is. God damn it. Stop. Stop. Just, oh my god, I might be dead. I'm just fucking dead. Please? Thank you. Yeah, don't ask. That was just, I just had a whole bouquet of whoopsie daisies pick at once. Let's just put it that way. We're real screwed here. Yellow, black, yellow, white. See, now what would have been good is if I was in range gear and could get a shot off right now. That might be enough to save me. I don't think it's gonna happen. Okay, did we lose the DPS race, please? Oh my... You've got to be kidding me. I shouldn't have taken damage from that, genuinely. I got rid of them. I mean, whatever. It's fine. We're still alive. It's been just an absolutely goddamn cursed raid. You choose the bosses you want to kill for... Okay, so the boss order has actually kind of a little bit more complexity than that. So the first boss that I kill is Baba. There's a couple of reasons for that. The monkey room is the biggest, like, I might fuck this up and die sort of a room. Kephri after that, I guess I could fight Kephri whenever realistically, but it's just a really easy and kind of long fight. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. The other reason that I like to do Kephri second is that if I pre-pot an anti-venom, I don't have to worry about getting poisoned if my range prey is down during Kephri. Like when I switch to melee prey, during the... when you take the second HP bar down at Kephri, usually I'm going to take a couple of hits from the bugs, which have the potential to poison me. Nice. Got the switch in time. Oh, don't you do this to me twice in one. You've got to be kidding me. If this hits me, I'm just dead. Okay. What a joke. How is that hit? I don't know what's happening right now. Like, I'm salted. I'm using prayers. I'm not really missing a lot of damage ticks on things. Like, how am I losing the DPS race on that? What the hell is happening? I've never had to Karis twice at this point in this fight in my life. Anyway, one of the things that matters to do with choosing boss order is at the very final boss, like once you get through these 4 and you get into the last one, there's a phase where if you block damage on the left side, then the next set of the boss, you'll end up with like ghosts of Baba, the monkey boss, and Krondus, the giant crocodile. But if you block the other side, then you're dealing with ghosts of Akka and... Oops, there we go. So we're yellow, black, red, white, yellow. You end up with ghosts of Akka and Kephri. So because I don't have to worry about Akka and Kephri in the last fight because of the order that I do these in... Oh shit. Misclicked there. It's not so much of an issue for me. If Akka is level 2, like that doesn't matter to me. Or if Kephri has like an invocation like the AoE attack, that doesn't matter to me. But if you put the AoE Kephri invocation on and you block the right side, then you're dealing with AoE fireballs in the last phase and you're kind of screwing yourself completely over. So generally, first one's Baba just to get the monkey room out of the way. No screw around that way, it just... You don't have to worry about, whoops, I accidentally died to something stupid right at the start of the raid. Kephri after that. And then 50-50 between zebak and akka. Generally, I like doing a level 2 akka because I'm used to there being 5 of the spec in the middle. At level 2, it goes from having 2 of them to 3 of them. I should probably pay more attention to my health. Jesus, why did I do that? Okay. There we go. Everything's fine. Anyway, that was the 4th boss. I don't need to worry about supplies. Even as scuffed as this has been as a raid, this has still gone perfectly fine for me. And if I'm lucky, I get double... Yeah, this has just been a full supplies raid. This is fine. We're all set. So I need pink, yellow, paper, white, and blue, and eventually I'm going to grab that Blessed Scarabout during the next phase. So once you've killed the 4 of those, you get a second claim from the Helpful Spirit, sort out your inventory, and head through the fiery doorway over here. Generally like this to be... Actually, that was right. So, Adrenaline Potion makes it so your specs take half as much spec. Salt is basically just an overload that doesn't take HP from you. And I have a big goddamn sword and I'm about to use it. I think you can lower this thing by like 50 or maybe 60-ish defense, but we need to attack this obelisk. And I forgot to drink the blue potion before I did that. That was stupid of me. That's fine. Away she goes, and I'm going to stand on the left side of it blocking damage until I'm at 69 HP. I actually went to 66 by mistake, so I'm going to drink 1 nectar. That's totally fine. And because this is a double ambrosia raid, I'm just going to leave my prayer on. I mean, well, we'll see. If it ends up a situation where I'm going to have to tank 2 sets of orbs, then maybe I'll be a little more cautious and use a spec here instead. Either way, if you're doing this solo, you're going to have to take damage from both these orbs. But that's why I take life right before we go into this phase, because I've got an ambrosia that'll completely fill my HP as far as it can possibly go as if I've eaten an anglerfish, and give me all my prayer back. So It looks like we are going to hit the second orbs hit us, which means I'm going to probably want a Karis spec, which I don't have. Oh, I do. Okay, never mind. Didn't think I had the spec energy for that for some reason. A little confused. It used 38%. I went from 40 to 2? Huh. Weird. So you come into this particular raid with whatever supplies you've come into it with, and you have to kill the first 2 bosses with your supplies. And then you get a supply drop. The other raids don't have, I don't think, any supply drops. Well, I don't really know. I don't do a whole lot of Toa, or a whole lot of anything but Toa, so I can't really tell you with confidence what the other raids have. I know there's a part in in Chambers of Xeric where you make a whole bunch of potions near the end of it. I don't think you do that in Theater of Blood, or at least I don't remember doing that. But I only did basically one entry mode of it, so oh, maybe. Wrong person to ask about anything but Toa. So the way this warden here works, the first down, you just can only do magic damage to it, and then the second one it's range, third one it's magic, fourth one it's range, and it just kind of goes back and forth like that. Because oh no, I got it in time. So if you can get just in time with a couple of specs, then you can usually do a 5 DDS attack followed by a BGS whack like that, just in time. But unfortunately, because I took so goddamn long on this thing, I didn't have my blue potion up for part of that and ended up using all of my spec. I'm a little bit low on salt, so we'll use that right now. You can use, what do you call them? Thralls at this point, as long as you're summoning a ranged thrall right now and a mage thrall for the next part, but it goes so fast with range that I don't really see much of a point to. I might for mage. So I'm shooting for a 3 down anyway. This is not intentional, but this is fine. If I had have gotten 5 DDS specs with a BGS whack, it would have brought them down below 60%. And if you bring this particular boss down below 60%, you get enough time for 10 DDS attacks during that phase. If you only bring it... Oh, Jesus. Gotta worry about this shit. If you only bring it below 80%, then you have time for 8 attacks, and if it's above 80%, you only have enough time for 6. Not sure exactly why 80 and 60 are the breakpoints, but it is what it is. Move away if it does that. The other thing is there's a lot of like strategies that I'm just not willing to do with this boss. That's kind of a reason that I doubt that I would really be the best person to make a guide for this particular raid. Like if you stand within melee distance, for example, and then move out of melee distance just as it's attacking, or if you pray melee, I can't remember exactly what you've got to do. You've got to kind of like switch between praying melee and then like reactively praying against whatever it uses. But regardless, you can basically avoid quite a lot of the damage, actually. Okay, we got 1 good BGS spec. 2 good BGS specs, a 62 on that one, goddamn. So I'm going to switch to range gear. Put the right prayer on this time. Summon a thrall. Make sure my prayer doesn't run out. And overheal as far as these yellow potions will take me. I know I do lose 1 HP per minute from the trickle-down effect, as long as I don't actually take damage from anything else. But we're at 116 HP. I see no reason not to be, anyway. We're all the way back to here. I will not screw up the skull skip phase this time, because I'm not following the wrong thing, basically. Yeah, anyway, 80%. Decent song, even, too. What do we got? 4.5 minutes on the salt. This has been a fairly decent raid, considering how poorly I've performed. I mean, we're 34:30 here. I might not make the 40-minute timer, but that's okay. Still going to be a 4.9% if I don't make it. Almost a 5% chance at a purple table if I do. See everyone in about 6 minutes or so. Skill skip number 2. Yeah, as long as you're using F keys and you can reactively pray to things, it's really not too bad of a raid. Like this part, the Bofa makes this so easy, because as long as you're not running Insanity, your attacks are the same speed as the Tumekens Wardens. And all you've really got to worry about for right now is the left side has a giant red alligator shooting either pots or rocks at you. And if it turns into a rock, you switch prayers. That's really all there is to it. So this is why I do Baba first. There's now a monkey on the right side throwing rocks at me. However, because I did Baba first, it's always going to be the lowest level Baba, which means it's always going to be throwing rocks at the same speed, which means I can quite literally ignore them entirely. They're never going to land on a tile that I'm standing on. The only exception to that is skull skipping. So this is where I died the last time coming up, when we get to 20% HP. Excuse me. Okay. Spreads his arms in a T-pose. We step over here and dodge one rock. We dodge the next rock, and now we just start clicking. If we take a bit of damage from an off prayer, it's not the end of the world. We didn't, though. I'm going to result. I like to bring the BGS into the top of my inventory so that as soon as this thing gets to 5%, I don't have to go looking for it. I'm going to resummon the Thrall that's almost unsummoned itself. 6.4%, we're almost there. And here we go. So I'm going to take a run towards them. Go for 1, 55, good enough. Just gonna, whoops, just gonna get out of there. Going to use a Scarab so that I don't have to worry about prayer. Whoops, and because I've got a, whoops, goddamn, got comboed there a little bit. Because I've got 4 of them anyway, I'm just gonna Ambrosia. Anyway, so for this part, because I've got a weapon that can attack every 4 ticks, I can just move 3 tiles and then shoot if I want to. And if I'm not on a particularly safe tile, or I need a second to put a prayer on, or if I just want to take a moment like that and take a 22 I didn't need to take, I can just do it. Keeps me a little bit mobile, I don't have to worry about the overhead rocks as long as I'm not really going onto tiles that I haven't been on lately. Need to switch prayers. Oh, I thought it was going to be 1 tick faster there, slower than that, that's fine. So 7.1. There's also a way to step onto, like once you're last rowing like this, there's a way to step onto dangerous tiles that are about to damage you. I'll try and demonstrate that on the next one if he's still alive. Oh, no. So like here I can walk onto that tile. I took damage from being off prayer. Whoops, wrong item. Whatever, we'll use that. Anyway, if you take a step onto a circle just as the lightning is exploding on the same game tick, you won't take damage from it. That's what I was trying to show, but accidentally killed it and did not get a purple. But it's a 4.96% chance to have hit that, that drop table this time. You would have received an elite clue scroll box. Don't really care for elite clues that much myself. But that's what, about a 600k profit, right? Not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. No purple though. So I can't really be too mad that it's not that much profit. What I will say is at least the rings are up in price. Last I checked, they, I think, are still somewhere around 5 mil, 4.8, 5.5. They've actually gone up. Goddamn, has the Fang gone up as well? No, it's 21.5. It's in a decent position. It's weird to see those items actually go up in price while the staff is going down. Or is the staff still going down? Oops. The hell is a corrupted Tumekens shadow? Anyway, 888 mil. That's what we're after today. Should I happen to hit that 5% chance of hitting the purple table, I then have a 4.2% chance of hitting that nearly 900 mil payday. But the real question is, do I keep it if I get it? It at least gives me an incentive to buy better mage gear. Because I gotta tell you, this is more of a costume than anything, I would say. I need a better offhand for this, but this actually looks really sick together. The Blood Bark with the Sanguinesti staff. Unfortunately, the Malediction Ward has a huge defense bonus for akka. 2% magic damage, 12 magic accuracy, and it's only 3 mil, so it's really hard to beat that. I think maybe the Fortified Eladini's Ward would be the way to go for an upgrade, but man, that thing is ugly. That is the ugliest goddamn thing. Looks like you're walking around with a blue gingerbread man strapped to your wrist. And that's talking to someone who's dressed up like a stoplight every time that they're in the range gear. Anyway, I'm gonna take a minute, have a piss, check my Discord messages, and then send another raid. Alright, last raid of the day, pre-potting. Let's get back to the monkey room. Pre-potting IRL here and having a sip of the coffee. Damn it, it's right beside me. It's unfortunate. Probably should have used that a little bit better. It's okay. Just gonna run away from those guys for right now. This one should come into range now. Beauty. Okay, that one should die. I can do this. Oh god, I didn't realize I hadn't done the... I was kind of thinking I haven't done a thing in a while. Didn't realize it had been that long. Oh well. Okay, should be able to just camp pray melee from now on though. Without too much issue. Yeah, there's one left over there. Nice. Isn't standing on anything that's gonna kill me. Drink that. Uh-oh. Oh my god, that was beautiful. I got rid of like everything. I don't think I've ever had a better situation than that. Please? Okay. I was gonna say, don't tell me that's gonna destroy the whole run right there if that caves in and destroys my character's skull. Can we please just land a decent hit? Thank you. I just want to be out of this damn room. Ugh. Alright. So it was a full prey pot monkey room. Shit happens. That's why I like having the Karis. Not in a huge rush to get back into the next boss room here, but if I take my time just a little bit. Need to wait for this to come up to 50. I mean, I don't need to, but I'm going to because it's the difference of whether or not we start with a BGS. Okay, 56. 100% worth the wait. No question about it. I should probably go over here. Yeah, and it's gonna do that? Okay. 66% to get it to move. We're almost there. Nice. A little bit lazy on the clicks on that one, but that's okay. I think we can still make this. Yep, just barely. Oh my god. Okay, that was a really stupid thing to have risked, considering how far back I was. So this is maximum BGS. And we're not really okay, now we're landing a couple. Spoke too soon, 3 in a row. I'm not so much worried about what the actual rolls are, I'm just sort of worried about whether they're hitting. I don't think it's really a sensible idea at this rate invocation, though, to just stay on range. It is a whole lot easier, though. Yeah, you get up there. Oh, come on. That's what I get for talking shit to the monkey. It's gonna keep running me back and forth. I think I can make that. Preemptive Thrall might not have been my brightest move, though. Ooh, maxed hit. And is the fourth one gonna finish you? Goddamn right it is. Alright, Baba's down. We're gonna grab the BGS for Kephri and get through the puzzle room as fast as possible. If you're on solo, again, you can kind of choose which side you want. The only puzzle that I don't really care for is the obelisk, where you have to shoot the obelisks in the right order. I don't know if there's some kind of way to do that or a solver or something, but I don't like the whole trial and error nature of it. Because I never misclick, and because of that, you know. Oh my god, it just gave me like a baby's first solve there because of that screw up. Okay. Fantastic. Alright, BGS time. Roll the dice. Let's see, are we gonna hit our BGS spec? We're at 110 attack. We're in reasonably max gear. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be set to, but it's currently on slash. I don't think it should be on crush. And if it should, then I guess just screw me. Because we just hit a 46. Let's go for 2 for the fun of it. And it, you know what, it hit. It hit a 3, but it hit. Oops, went a little further than I meant to. But yeah, back on Kephri, as I say, it's... not that it's a bad boss or anything, it just feels kind of... slow. It's a whole lot more fun with like 8 people in this AoE invocation on, because you get to see people panic just way more than you would expect. There are ways to mitigate the amount of those orbs that you create, but no one ever seems to bother doing that. They just kind of run around and go, oh shit, this is going to kill me. Took us 5 attacks to kill that thing, so I don't really have that much time for the blowpipe. But every one of these is just free points, so... might as well. Nothing else I can do during this phase. Whoops. That's fine. The only thing that really matters is that I don't block the ability to get to the mage, because otherwise I would have to use... I guess I could switch to Bofa if I really wanted to. Seems like it would be kind of a pain in the ass, though. There's a more common strategy that you'll see people, and I've got a tile marked over there for where to actually stand to do it. But people will usually end up blocking the melee into an area so that you don't have to switch your protection prayers off. And so that you can just focus on the mage. But if you do it wrong, you can end up in a situation where everyone's just kind of stuck, and there's not enough people damaging the mage, and it just turns into a shit show, literally. So, I don't like to mess around with that kind of stuff. I guess if I ran the invocation that, what is that, more overlords? Then I'd have to worry about that, but I'll take my nice, easy, boring Kephri fight. This is probably a mistake, but I've just summoned a thrall at 30% HP. You know what, it's close enough now that I could probably... Is that gonna poop? No? I'm gonna stay here. I'm a little worried that I'm gonna get crapped. Like, double timed. I shouldn't be using piety right now. I'm gonna wait here. Perfect. And now if I run right here, hit it one more time, it's exactly what I wanted. Fight's pretty much over at this point. Alright, so we got a resupply number 1, and hopefully it's a double salt raid. It is. We got level 1, so I'm gonna go Path of Krondus first. That way we'll have a level 2 Path of Het. And given that we got 2 salts, might as well go ahead and use that now. Missed the necklace. First crocodile's gonna be here. One shot. "46 seconds. Alright, BGS time. This one usually doesn't miss and tends to hit pretty high, so I've got high hopes on number 1. Okay, not what I meant. Literally hit a 1 when I said that. 41. Much better. Keeping an eye on him, because I know he's going to do that. There it is. Alright, so we've fully reduced this thing's defense as much as we realistically can. This should be just an absolute cakewalk fight, as long as I don't screw this up. That was alarmingly close to being screwed up, but that's fine. Alright, waves from this side. Nice. Can we go for 3? Ah, I gotta move. Alright, halfway there. Solve number 2. I think this works, right? Don't walk onto it, goddamn. Alright, final waves. And we're absolutely going to be dealing with pissed off turbo mode zebak during this, so... oops. There it goes. It's only a level 1, so it's really not an issue. Okay, that's not ideal. Alright, 3 down, 1 to go. And we're done. Didn't even take damage from that orb that was just about to come after me. So I need my range gear on, my inventory a little bit less cluttered. And we only have 4 potions this time, so I can actually have that salt in my inventory without problems happening. Alright, let's do it. Okay, so because we've got a few good hits at the start here, I was going to switch to melee, but if I can kill this fast enough, I might be able to do a little damage without... Yeah. There we go. Hey, I got 1 hit in, so it's good enough, right? Oh, that was a terrible swap. Missed half the damn gear. This is a level 2 akka, so I've got a 5 in the center. That's all I've really got to worry about. If I lose 2 DPS races again, I don't know, I quit. So we got white, yellow, black. I'm gonna need to switch to range gear in a second. But the Fang is not going to let me down here, I'm sure. I'm sure. Getting less sure. Okay, 42, that's better. It was white, red, black, yellow, black. Okay, this is going a lot better than the last one so far. I don't have to move when it switches, so I can just completely ignore the ball spec. My Thrall can still hit it. So white, yellow, white, red, white. Okay, Bofa, don't fail me now. Okay, it's kind of failing me and I'm already giving up on it, so I'm switching melee. What are we at? 12%. When do we care a spec? If I got a really good hit or two here, I might be able to do this without having to switch to range gear and back. But it's not looking super promising unless we do it right now. Oh, we actually did. I'll be damned. Okay, Kara spec. Where is he? There he is. Melee Thrall. Now I can ignore some damage, but I shouldn't be tanking all of it. Okay, I'm just gonna step back there for a sec. I'm not 100% clear if Praying Mage actually lowers the damage on this invocation. I'm pretty sure it does on lower invos. I'm a little curious to find out, but no, I'm still taking a 25 without it, so oh shit, I might be just dead. I should not have been trying to find that out right then. That's what I get for dicking around. What have I got in my supplies? Oh yeah, we're still fine. That is not a failed raid, that's a failed akka. That's for goddamn sure. Oops. It's a lot less of a big deal now that Akka's a lot less a pain in my balls. Not a big fan that the melee still does hit that hard through prayer, though. But we should be just fine with a pray pot and a half. Are we going to the center, or are we staying here? Going to the center. Yellow. Yellow, black, red, white, red. There are raids that I've completed after 2 deaths that have gotten me a purple before, so I'm really not too worried about this as long as we have enough supplies. And we still have an entire salt left, so this is fine. Now, if I die twice, it's probably a raid wipe, but it's fine. It's gonna switch mage in a second anyway, so... Oh, Jesus, don't... Oh, fuck. Why did I do that? Okay, didn't turn my prayer off that time, that's interesting. Thought it always did, but that's fine by me. Okay, so we just have to basically pray that we hit really hard here. Or not, because it's going to go into the center puzzle and I'm on range. So yellow, white, red, white, red. Nice. I mean, I'm going to have to Karaspec because of my own stupidity, but that's fine. See if I can wait him out to maybe do it while he's on range so I can switch to melee and do it then. 34 HP is more than enough to tank a few hits here. I am going to step over to here, though. So we got red, black, red, white, red. Honestly, we could just stay range at this point. This is probably fine. Like the next time that I use a prey pot, I'm going to probably want to go for it. Ooh, 23%. Goddamn, we're wrecking them. Yeah, this is convenient. Just gotta be a little careful. Now. Black, yellow, black, yellow, white, and it's praying range. Okay. That could have gone a lot worse. Now if I screw up the final phase twice in a row, I give up. It'd be kind of sad to end on a failed raid, but if it happens, it happens. This guy's gonna switch mage next anyway, so this is fine. Might as well drink one more prey pot for the hell of it. Some of the melee thrall. And I'm not going to spec him. Or prey mage at this point, because that didn't seem to do a goddamn thing. And that way, if I really have to, I can probably get away with a healing spec. Waiting for that one. God, I love the melee throw. It's like having a friend. Okay, well, 2 in a row hit me. Fuck it. We're all in. Okay, that was kind of pathetic. We ended that raid with 1 dose of a prey pot. Please give me 2 white pots. Thank you. Just thank you. Just no other comments needed from you, Spirit. Those 5. Alright, I gotta not screw this part up though. Like, really. So we got 2 minutes on this salt, and then all we have is 1 more salt, and that's what we got to work with. Alright, spec 1, complete miss. 2's a 35. 3's a good hit. And we're probably about good. Oh, 66, shit. Whatever, we'll drink 1. I mean, it's a 4 Ambrosia raid, so I guess I could probably Ambrosia the hits from this. But it feels like kind of a waste. I mean... Probably gonna Kara spec this. Oh, come on, I landed a 1? Really? We'll Kara spec it once we've stepped over. A little bit of a DPS loss there, but doesn't look like it'll matter. Alright, that was totally the right choice. Going to resurrect a Mage Thrall because I really don't like this phase on Mage too much. Drink one more of those and we should be set. We got 44 seconds on our second last salt. So I have to remember not to use any yellow pots from now on. Until we resalt. Which, again, not an issue, but kind of why I was keeping the 4 Ambrosias. Yeah, 31 seconds on this. Nice. Landed it just in time. So we could do a 2 down if I wanted to. It's always nice. Ah, screw it. We'll summon a skeletal thrall for the archer side. Make this a little bit, faster. Really hate that phase. Ugh. Alright, that can go up there. 90%, 100%, nice. So we get 10 whacks here. So I'll go for about 3 or so. Now we're going to get 9 because I thought that I was going to hit that. That's fine. Go for about 3 specs. Doesn't really matter. We're going for a 3 down either way. Actually, I'm going to take that off for the last one just for fun. We'll do a 33. Back into Mage Gear. Mage Thrall. Mage Prey. Oops. Okay, so we're probably going to Ambrosia. Because I see no benefit in not. Oh god. Good thing I did that, because I accidentally took 1 step too far and got melee'd. And we're pretty much back on track. Oops. So we've got enough for at least 2 specs here. Even got the crystal scarabs out. Nice. Alright, first spec landed an 11. Second spec landed a 64. Beautiful. Like we're all set. So at some point, I'm going to need to resalt. The later that I do that, the better. But it means that I really shouldn't use the yellow potions at all until I do that. And as soon as I click that, it'll be up for quite a long time. I could probably get away with resalting right now. But I think I'm going to wait until it's at 60%. So this is mostly me just in... you know, out loud reminding myself, do not start clicking on the yellow potion to heal up like you usually would at this point, because that would be a really poor decision. You would immediately have to salt. And because I foolishly died on the last phase of Akka this time, I only have one last dose of salt in my inventory, on the third row from the bottom left side. Also not loving my mage shield being where it is. Let's do that. And then that. That feels better. Because I have no use for it, but I do need that scarab at some point. I don't really need it, but I just kind of like using it in the last phase. Okay, let's go ahead and salt. Which means I can now overheal if I want to. Which, why wouldn't I? This will be the last raid of the stream, so hopefully we get something decent. Not even necessarily a purple, but it'd be nice to have a maybe 400 or 500k drop. Make it a little bit worth my time here. Well, I could make more elsewhere. Vorkath doesn't just have like a 900 mil drop on the table, you know? That was a little quick. Didn't take damage, but it was damn near a little too quick. So we dodge one rock. "22 seconds on the thrall. Let's see, do I need to do anything here? 6 minutes of salt, so I way overestimated how long this part of the fight takes, I guess. Just feels like it takes forever because there's so much more going on here. That's there, we're at 112 HP. Yeah, no, I think we're pretty much good to go. Feeling pretty good about this one. Maybe not the drop necessarily, but the fight itself. Alright. Let's do it. So we got a dodge 2. Alright, that's the last time that we have to do that. We're coming up on that last phase. I'll zoom in a little bit here. Resummon the thrall, even though he's probably still got a bit of time left. Don't want to have to worry about it. Gonna smash a scarab. Do a bunch of low hits. Come on, there we go. Alright, a 16. Into an 11, I think. And the old 1, 2, 3 shoot. There we go. Not ideal. Gonna resummon the thrall just to be sure. Well, I'm not in an overly large panic over HP or anything like that. That's gonna... No, that wasn't the tile that it was gonna land on. I thought it was about to get doubled by the rock. It's still at 10% HP, so we're probably gonna have to last row this. Not ideal. Not my favorite thing to do, but it is what it is, and we have enough white potions if I'm bad at it. Like that. Oof. Fuck it, we just tank this. And then switch. Oop, not what I wanted to do. Click, damn you. There's the click through. Okay. Not my best work, but we did survive the final boss. We didn't survive Akka's final phase, but we did survive the Tumekens Wardens. This is still a 4.33% chance, and it's white. Damn. Okay, that's solid. That's like 350k. Altogether, that's not a great profit necessarily, but I mean it's definitely paid for the supply costs in the chase of an item that's worth a lot more than I'm willing to grind at any one particular boss. Unfortunately, the price of the shadow has dropped from 1.2-ish billion at one point to maybe 888 billion, or 888 million, excuse me, earlier today when I looked it up. I don't know if that's like actively dropping or... Oh yeah, it's dropped a mil. Fantastic. So I'm kind of hoping that I can get this quickly. If it drops below like 600 mil, I'll just chase something else, I guess, or go and do one of the raids that has more valuable drops, but I was kind of hoping to get one and be able to sell it for 1 billion coins and be able to see that 1 billion coin cash stack in my inventory before I inevitably use it to max out range and melee armor anyway. Because of course if I get a shadow I'm selling it immediately. But the chase continues. We are... Wait, what? 272. Wait, what did that... So I was less than 40 minutes, so how much did that impact the... That was not a 315 that it finished as. But without walk forward, I thought it'd be a 305, but I think that counted as a 395, hilariously enough. So, whoops. I thought that was going to count as my 38th expert completion, that's why I was a little confused there, but that's fine. Another day, another try for the staff. See you next time.